Hey everyone, it's Leroy Brown. Diving into content creation feels like navigating a labyrinth of copyright laws, right? Am I allowed to use this music? What about this image? Well, fear no more, my friends. We're going to demystify copyright and fair use, so hit that subscribe button and let's master fair use together. Let's kick things off with the foundational principle of it all, fair use. What does it actually mean? Fair use allows you to use copyrighted material without permission under specific circumstances. Think of it as guidelines, not strict rules. It's a spectrum, and understanding the four factors is key. These factors are your compass in the world of fair use. So let's meet them. First, the purpose and character of your use. Is it commercial or educational? Non-commercial uses have a stronger fair use claim. Second, the nature of the copyrighted work. Is it creative or factual? Using factual work is more likely to be fair use. Third, the amount used. Using less strengthens your argument. Finally, the effect on the market. Would your use harm the market for the original work? These four factors work together to determine fair use. One of the most common ways to utilize fair use is for commentary and criticism. How else can we engage in meaningful discussions about books, movies, or music without referencing the original works? Fair use provides a pathway for incorporating copyrighted material into your analysis. Focus on your unique perspective and critical analysis. Are you dissecting a film's symbolism, comparing different musical styles, offering a fresh take on a classic novel? The more transformative your use, the stronger your fair use claim. Contribute to the conversation and enrich the cultural landscape. Okay, so you're probably thinking, Leroy, this fair use thing is complicated, and you know what? You're not wrong. It's kind of like trying to navigate a corn maze in the dark. But don't worry, I'm here with a flashlight. One of the most important things to remember about fair use is the idea of transformative use. Basically, if you're using copyrighted material, you need to be doing something new with it. You're not just copying and pasting, you're adding your own unique spin, your own commentary, your own analysis. Think of it like this: you're taking a piece of clay, the copyrighted work, and molding it into a totally new sculpture, your video. It's still clay, but it's something completely different, right? That's the essence of transformative use. You're taking something that already exists and using it as a springboard for your own creativity. So if you're using a clip from a movie, don't just show the clip, talk about it. Analyze the characters, the themes, the cinematography. Use it as a jumping off point for your own thoughts and ideas. Remember, the more transformative your use, the stronger your case for fair use becomes. If you want to be guided by me, you can join my 4 weeks creator program. This plan is designed to help you get started on your success in the over $200 billion creator economy in just 4 weeks. In the program, I will help you realize what you love, your purpose, passion, or niche, build an audience, make money, and scale your joy, which means expanding your creative impact and finding fulfillment in your work. In the plan, you will have live weekly coaching sessions where you can ask questions and get personalized advice, worksheets to guide your learning and reflection, and links to videos that cover key concepts and strategies. So go to leroybrown.k, click 4 weeks creator and get started. Let's talk about the amount factor in fair use. It's all about being reasonable. Use only what you need to make your point. Quote, key passages, not entire works. The same principle applies to fair use. Remember, the less you use, the better. It's all about balance. Now let's talk about a magical place called the public domain. It's a land where copyrights expire and works become free for anyone to use. Think Shakespeare, Jane Austen, classical music by long-gone composers. It's a treasure trove of creativity. The public domain is a great resource for creators. So you're making a video and you need some music or maybe some cool graphics. That's where Creative Commons comes in. It's like a giant library of content shared under specific conditions. Some licenses require crediting the creator, others allow non-commercial use, and some let you modify the work. Creative Commons is a fantastic resource for finding awesome, legal-to-use content. Okay, let's be real. Nobody reads the terms and conditions, right? We just click agree and move on with our lives. But when it comes to YouTube's copyright policies, you really need to pay attention. YouTube is the landlord of this massive online video platform. They have rules to ensure fair play and respect for creative work. Their copyright guidelines are the lease agreement you never signed, but are still bound by. They outline what you can and can't do with copyrighted material. It might seem like a snooze fest, but trust me, familiarizing yourself with these policies is crucial. It's like wearing a helmet when you ride a bike. You might not need it most of the time, but when you do, you'll be really glad you have it. So you're making an educational video, maybe explaining a complex scientific theory or analyzing a piece of classic literature. Well, that's where fair use comes in. Fair use allows for the limited use of copyrighted material without permission for certain purposes, and education is one of them. But it's not a free-for-all. Courts consider several factors when determining fair use, like the purpose of your use, the nature of the copyrighted work, how much you're using, and the potential impact on the market for the original. Hey everyone, Leroy here. And let's dive into the wild world of YouTube's Content ID. Now this system, it's like YouTube's very own copyright watchdog, constantly sniffing out any copyrighted material that dares to enter its domain. So how's it work? Well, imagine a massive library, but instead of books, it's filled with fingerprints. Digital fingerprints of copyrighted content. When you upload a video, Content ID gets right to work comparing it to this massive database. And if by chance Content ID finds a match, even a teeny tiny one, it'll flag your video faster than you can say copyright infringement. But don't panic just yet. This doesn't necessarily mean you're in trouble, it just means you need to understand your options, which we'll discuss in a bit, because knowledge is power, especially in the ever-evolving landscape of digital rights. Okay, so we've talked about the perils of using copyrighted music, but fear not, my fellow creators, because YouTube has a solution, the YouTube Audio Library. Think of it as a treasure trove of musical goodness, all free from the clutches of copyright restrictions. That's right, you can browse through a vast collection of tracks, from upbeat jingles to dramatic orchestral pieces, and use them in your videos without worrying about those pesky copyright strikes. It's like having a whole orchestra at your fingertips, ready to provide the perfect soundtrack for your creative endeavors. But wait, there's more. Not only does the audio library offer music, but it also boasts a wide array of sound effects. Need a dramatic whoosh? They've got you covered. How about some ambient city noise? No problem. It's a one-stop shop for all your audio needs, and the best part is it's all completely free to use. So go ahead, unleash your inner Spielberg and create something truly epic. Alright, so you found the perfect clip, the one that would make your video absolutely sing, but there's a catch. It's copyrighted. Don't despair just yet, my friends. There's still hope. It's called asking for permission. I know, it sounds scary, but trust me, it's not as daunting as it seems. Start by identifying the copyright holder. This might be the creator, the publisher, or even a licensing agency. A little bit of internet sleuthing should do the trick. Next up, draft a polite and professional email or letter outlining your intentions. Be clear about how you plan to use their work, and don't forget to mention the magic words fair use. It might not always work, but it's always worth a shot. And remember, even if they say no, don't take it personally. There are plenty of other fish in the sea, or, other clips in the digital ocean. Just keep creating, keep exploring, and never stop asking questions. So you're making a video about the history of the rubber duck, and you need footage of rubber ducks. Stock footage websites like Shutterstock, iStock, and Adobe Stock are treasure troves. Using stock footage can save you from copyright headaches. It's like having a copyright permission slip signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay, let's talk about attribution. It's like the internet's version of a thank you note. Creative Commons licenses allow creators to share their work. One condition is often attribution. It's a shout-out to the original creator. Parody, the art of taking something familiar and giving it a humorous twist. It's like that friend who makes you laugh with a witty observation, but parody and copyright can get complicated. Parody often falls under fair use. You're transforming the original work for a different purpose, but fair use is subjective. What you see as parody, others might see as infringement. So how do you walk this tightrope? Make sure your parody is truly transformative. Offer a fresh perspective or critique. The more transformative, the stronger your case for fair use. When in doubt, consult a copyright lawyer. Thinking about using copyrighted material in your video and hoping to make a few bucks off it? Hold your horses. Commercial use complicates fair use. Courts scrutinize commercial purposes differently. It's like borrowing a lawnmower for business. One's a favor, the other's stepping on toes. Financial gain reduces fair use chances. Be extra careful with monetized videos. Ensure your use falls under fair use guidelines. Monetized videos make fair use trickier. Slap an ad on your video and you're saying, "I'm making money off this." If it includes copyrighted work, you might have some explaining to do. It's like selling tickets to a concert of mostly Beatles tracks. You're profiting off someone else's work without permission. Reaction videos often fall under fair use because they're transformative. Be safe, avoid using copyrighted material in monetized videos. Stick to public domain, Creative Commons, or original content. Let's talk about the Goldilocks zone of fair use. How much of a copyrighted work can you actually use? You don't want to use too little or your point might get lost, but use too much and you might find yourself in hot water. It's all about finding that just right amount. Think of it like this. You're writing a paper on the green light in The Great Gatsby. You'd carefully select key passages to illustrate your point. The same principle applies to using copyrighted material under fair use. So you've uploaded your masterpiece to the vast digital library we call YouTube. You're excited to share your creation with the world, but then, bam, you get a copyright claim. Don't panic, it happens. It's like getting a parking ticket. It's not the end of the world, but it does require you to take action. The first step is to really understand the claim. What content is being flagged? Who is claiming it? Once you have all the facts, you can decide your next move. If you believe the claim is invalid, maybe you used the material fairly, or it's actually your own work, you have the right to dispute it. This is where things can get a little complicated, so don't be afraid to reach out for help. YouTube has resources available, and you can always consult with a copyright lawyer if needed. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the digital age. The internet is a beautiful tapestry of interconnected platforms, but it can also be a minefield of copyright pitfalls. You see, just because you find a video on Facebook or a song on SoundCloud doesn't mean it's free for the taking. Think of it like this. Borrowing your friend's cool jacket is one thing, but taking it to a tailor to make copies for everyone you know is a whole different story. Embedding content from other platforms might seem harmless, but if that content turns out to be infringing, you could be held liable, even if you didn't upload it originally. It's like the old saying goes, my party, my rules. YouTube has its own set of rules, and they don't always play nicely with other platforms. So before you hit that embed button, take a moment to consider the source and make sure you're not stepping on any copyright toes. All right, we've talked a lot about copyright, but there's another intellectual property beast lurking in the shadows: trademarks. While copyright protects original works like music and videos, trademarks protect the branding elements that distinguish one company or product from another. Think logos, slogans, even distinctive packaging. Imagine using the Apple logo in your video without permission. Not a good idea, right? Or what about playing a catchy jingle that's clearly associated with a particular brand? Trademark law is designed to prevent consumer confusion and protect the value of those brands. So, before you slap a familiar logo on your merch or parody a famous tagline, take a moment to consider the potential consequences. It's always better to be safe than sorry, and respecting trademarks is just good internet etiquette. So you're making a video and want to use a clip from that old movie you love, or maybe a piece of music from way back when. Public domain, my friends. It's a collection of creative works where the copyright has expired. You can use these works without permission. Classic films, vintage music, historical documents, all ripe for the picking. Websites like the Internet Archive and Wikimedia Commons are great places to start. Just double-check the copyright status to be safe. Making a video about breaking news, want to use copyrighted material for context? Fair use can be tricky. It often allows copyrighted material in news reporting, but it's not a free-for-all. Use a small portion and add your own analysis. Remember the 4 factors of fair use? They apply here too: purpose, nature, amount, and market effect. Inform the public, don't exploit. When in doubt, consult a copyright lawyer. Let's talk about audience and market, 2 often overlooked but incredibly important factors in fair use. Even if your use ticks all the other fair use boxes, the intended audience and market impact can make or break your case. Imagine creating a video essay about a popular novel, using clips from its film adaptation. Your target audience? Fans of the book and the movie. Your video might compete with the market for the original work. People might watch your video instead of buying the book or renting the movie. Fair use is about balancing creative expression and the rights of copyright holders. So you're adding some movie clips to your video essay. Make sure you're on the right side of fair use. It's important to be mindful of copyright. Transformative use means adding your own spin. Add your thoughts, commentary, and unique perspective. Use jump cuts or juxtapose scenes to create new meaning. Engage creatively and say something new. So you've uploaded your latest masterpiece to YouTube and bam, you get hit with a copyright claim. It's enough to make anyone panic. But don't worry, it happens to the best of us. And sometimes there's a way to fight back. The DMCA counter notification. DMCA stands for the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It also gives creators a way to fight back against inaccurate claims. If you're confident that your video is protected by fair use, you can file a counter notification. Of course, filing a DMCA counter notification is a serious matter. It's always a good idea to talk to a lawyer who specializes in copyright. So, you're making a video and you need some music or maybe some sound effects or maybe even some video clips, and you're thinking, oh no, this is going to cost me a fortune. But wait, don't despair. There's a whole world of copyright-free resources out there just waiting for you to use them. Websites like Pixabay, Unsplash, and Free Music Archive offer a treasure trove of high-quality, royalty-free content. And the best part is, it's all completely free. Well, mostly free. So, we've talked a lot about copyright and fair use. It's a lot to keep track of. And you're not wrong. But here's the thing about laws. They change, sometimes in big ways, sometimes in little ways. And copyright law, the internet kind of messed with the old rules. New cases pop up all the time. The good news is you don't have to become a legal scholar, but it is a good idea to check in on copyright law now and then. And that means more time creating awesome content. Okay, so far we've mostly been talking about using other people's stuff, but what about your stuff? You've poured your heart and soul into your videos. You want to protect them, right? That's where watermarks come in. Think of it like putting your name on your lunch. You made that delicious sandwich, you deserve the credit. A watermark does the same thing for your videos. It's a visual reminder that this awesome content, yeah, it's yours. So, you're feeling lucky, huh? Thinking about using that catchy tune in your video even though you don't have a license. Don't do it. It's like trying to sneak a giraffe past a sleeping cat. It might work for a second, but eventually you're going to have a mess on your hands. Trust me, the potential consequences are not worth the risk. Fair use is not a magical get-out-of-jail-free card. The internet is filled with Creative Commons licensed work just waiting for you to discover it. So why risk it? You've researched fair use until your brain feels like it's about to melt, and you're still not sure if your use of copyrighted material is kosher. Or maybe you've received a copyright claim that seems bogus. What do? Call in the big guns, the legal kind. Lawyers can be expensive, but would you rather pay a lawyer or risk a hefty lawsuit? Investing in expert advice is the smartest move. When in doubt, seek legal counsel. It might just save you a whole lot of headache and money in the long run. Well, there you have it, my friends. Navigating fair use and copyright is crucial for any creator. Thank you for sticking with me. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay curious, stay creative, and stay legal. LeRoyabrown.k